Hi there, welcome back to Hoopser. It's QPR v Watford this Sunday, so let's talk about what to expect from the Hornets. Watford head to Loftus Road, currently sat in 10th place on 36 points. That puts them 14 points clear of the relegation zone and just 4 points adrift from the playoffs. Although that mid-table is looking pretty congested, with everyone from Preston in 14th to Hull in 7th within touching distance of those playoff spots. This season has been a tale of two halves for Watford really. They've picked up 9 wins, 9 draws and 8 losses so far, though there has been much more good than bad since early October, with just 3 losses in their past 16 championship matches. Valérien Ismaël's side initially struggled to gather pace after their 4-0 opening day demolition of QPR at Vicarage Road, a match in which of course all of the goals came inside the first 43 minutes. After that victory they wouldn't win another match for 4 games. In fact, in a stat that's very typically QPR, after their 4 goals came against a centre-back pairing of Morgan Fox and Joe Gubbins, they wouldn't score for the next 3 matches until their 3-3 draw with Coventry City. Their next win would finally come the following week, a 2-0 win over Birmingham City, but once again it would be followed up with another 4 games without a win, 3 losses against Borough, Leeds and Sunderland, and a draw against Cardiff City. The bizarrest thing though, for Watford especially, is that despite this run of form, it was around this point in early October that Watford came out and extended Valérien Ismaël's contract with the club, despite him only joining in May and the club currently sat in 20th place. As we know, Watford don't tend to do long-term appointments. Ismaël is their 8th appointment since the end of 2020 after all. But Watford's sporting director publicly stated that despite the lack of points, they were confident in what they were seeing from their new man. And perhaps this statement of intent and backing has given the club some much needed stability, because it's at this exact point that Watford's form turned around. Since the 7th of October, Watford have won 7, drawn 6 and lost 3 of their past 16 championship games. And 2 of those 3 losses have come against first place Leicester City and second place Ipswich Town. Unfortunately for QPR, key to that form has been an excellent run away from home. They're top of the form table for away matches over the past 6 fixtures, with only Leicester matching them on results, and they've scored 3 more goals than they have. On the topic of goals, these do seem to come easy for Watford. They've scored 42 in total across the season, which is enough to put them in the top 6 for attacking returns. Summer signing Rajovic currently holds their golden boot with 9 goals, Bio sits on 6 and Martins on 5. Though the goals are pretty fairly shared with 15 separate goal scorers in comparison to QPR's 9. Twice in that good run of form they've gone big, with a 5-0 win at home and a 5-1 win away at Preston. They do concede a fair amount too though, with only 1 less goal shipped than QPR, and they haven't actually kept a clean sheet in their past 10 matches. Like a lot of mid-table teams, Watford are more than capable of picking up results and sometimes hammering the teams below and around them, but they're yet to pick up a win against the current top 6, suggesting they've hit a bit of a ceiling unless they recruit well in January. On the flip side, they have beaten all of the bottom 3, so I'd be surprised if those early relegation shouts at the start of the season come back to haunt them at any point. Now in terms of recent form, Watford have been a little bit patchy over the festive period, with 2 draws, 1 loss and 2 wins over the past 5 games. They are winless in the past 3 league matches after the 3-3 draw away at Plymouth on New Year's Day, though they did beat Chesterfield 2-1 in the FA Cup 3rd round last weekend. Deli Bashiru's 95th minute winner setting up a 4th round tie with Southampton. QPR on the other hand did not make it through to the 4th round and are heading into this fixture 6 championship matches without a win now, after their 2nd consecutive home loss to Cardiff City last time out. And with the recent injuries accrued, QPR are something of an unknown entity going into this match. We'll be hoping that Lyndon Dykes and Sinclair Armstrong, both scoring against Bournemouth in the Cup, will go on to inspire some goal scoring form in the league now. Hopefully we get to see the pair of them start together again against Watford. But of course Chris Willock and Elias Chair will be sore losses if their absences continue over the weekend. You would hope after not appearing on the bench against Bournemouth at all that at least one of them would be back in contention here. But as usual, QPR give very little to go on in this regard. Morgan Fox has now returned from injury, so we do have a little bit more depth at centre-back, but Steve Cook in some ways is the most crucial player that I'd like to see back in the lineup. Our defence is a mess, particularly from set pieces, and without him there to help organise that back line, that's something I see continuing. I said in my last video that I personally wouldn't be against Begovic being dropped for this. I don't see that happening, but I do think it is warranted. Jack Colback was also supposed to be back in the squad on New Year's Day. He still hasn't appeared on the bench, even in the Bournemouth match, so I wonder whether he might pop up here. As I say, a hard one to predict, not knowing who will be available. If our injuries return to the starting lineup and we put out both strikers, I could see us being at the races here, but I don't think our set piece errors will have disappeared in a week. So I still very much expect Watford to be on the score sheet. So if the injured players return, I'll go for a 2-2. But if our injury problems continue, I'd say 2-0, 2-1 Watford. Do let me know your predictions and thoughts down in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and I will catch you next time. Cheers.